Welcome again to my channel. This is Mary Frida Kaira with Write Interviews. I'm very pleased to host a very special person in today's show. She's the reigning Mrs. Universe Kenya, Tharaka Nithi County. She's also passionate about inspiring people and touching their lives. She's a talent coach, a teacher, and so much more. So join me in welcoming Edith Muthoni, who I know as Soni, in today's show.
Hey guys, how are you? I'm Edith Muthoni. She calls me Soni and everyone else calls me Soni. I'm very excited to be on this show, yeah.
Isn't she beautiful? Yeah, so we are here because I had the pleasure of publishing Edith's first book. And in line with that, we are here to discuss matters of self-esteem in the adolescent phase and in line with the theme of mental health. So this book is called Life Beneath My Self-Esteem. It is her true story about her journey with self-esteem. But before we even get to that, let's get to know her better. So Soni, allow me to call you that because Edith is not what I'm used to.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about how you got into teaching and how that's a passion, given that as we grew up, it wasn't one of those glorified careers. So how did you get into teaching?
Professionally, as you've heard, I'm a teacher of English and literature. Yeah, actually, it was really hard for me to make that, to decide to become that teacher. But let me tell you something. At some point in life, I realized that I did not qualify to become the doctor I really wanted. I didn't really wanted to be a doctor.
I did not know that.
Yeah, because in biology I scored a clean A, but I failed in mathematics, so I didn't really get to the cluster points of becoming that doctor. And I remember it was really tough for me to decide any other career. My next option was to become a banker. But there's a really good thing about mentorship. There's a person who came to me and asked me, Edith, what do you want to go to do in the university? And I told him, I want to become a banker. And then he told me, I think you need to think more closely, because I think there's something in teaching that you guys don't really know. You don't want to choose that, but in the world today, I think teaching is better than what you want to choose. So he spoke to me for like 1 hour. He was my dad's close friend and was interested about academics. So he told me to sit down and think more keenly. If I have to make another option, I should take teaching, specifically English. And I was like, okay, to become a teacher, it was really tough. But then I remembered something about myself. I've always had this passion to inspire or to mentor, because thanks to my high school, St. Mary's Girls, Igoji, we were really mentored. So I felt if at all I didn't really manage to become that doctor, maybe let me become that teacher so that I'm able to get a chance to mentor the students to become the doctors, the lawyers. Yeah, and I think it was something really in me, because nimekuwa na hiyo life. Yeah.
That's really interesting to know, even for me, that didn't know that she wanted to be a doctor.
Yeah.
That's a phase we all had. I think after reading Gifted Hands by Ben Carson, all of us
that one now
wanted to follow that line. But you mentioned something interesting to me in line with mentorship.
Yeah.
And it seems like mentorship plays a very key role in how we view ourselves and our lives, because if not for mentorship, then you wouldn't have viewed teaching as an option that you would pursue. So now that you mentioned mentorship, and we know that the adolescent phase is one in which the young people are trying to form their image of self, and where they need a lot of nurturing and all that. So who does it fall on to mentor young people? Is it a preserve for just probably the parents, or is it something that we delegate to teachers because maybe parents are working? Or is it the church or the government? So who is it up to mentor our young people?
Okay, having gotten so much into mentorship, apart from just teaching, I feel that everyone in the society has got a task, especially even our parents. I normally say my dad was my first mentor. Yeah, because he was really on my neck that time. Let me say on my neck, because I was feeling like he's getting too much into my life.
Yeah.
But he would never want to see, even, as we grow, lazima to boyfriends. So he would never
Especially if you're pretty like you are.
Yeah, it was like, I say education first.
Boys later.
Yeah, boys later. These guys are just twisting your life.
Time, yeah.
Okay, perhaps we wouldn't listen. But I look back and say, if he just let it go like that, I wouldn't be the person I am today. So I normally give so much credit to him.
So then the parent has a very pivotal
role. And now, because I'm a teacher, this is something I've talked about even in the social media, and saying teachers should also do something, even back in class. It's not all about teaching. Take time to learn your students more, because if I tell you the stories, my students, they tell me the stories that they could not even tell to their parents. Like, they, at first, maybe they can take me not so seriously because I'm a young teacher. But when I start doing the mentorship, now they are like, they can open up. So I feel a teacher too as a big task.
Okay.
Yeah, and the society
at large.
Yeah, but the greatest problem we have now is that people can watch a kid, an adolescent, just disappear like that. You talk ill about them without knowing it's a very delicate stage that needs a lot of guidance. And adolescent, I guess adolescent stops at 25.
Wow.
Yeah. Look back and see about yourself. We start maturing at around 25, 26. That's when you start thinking like a mature person. But between those ages up to 25, you sometimes make very stupid decisions because you didn't get someone to guide you.
You say that in your book when you say that we can't leave our children to their own devices. When they beat their chest and say, I'm an adult, you can't just leave them to do anything they want without asking them. But we're also living in an age where children are seeming to mature so fast. If you get into TikTok, I don't know if you're familiar with TikTok.
Yeah.
You'll see a lot of 20-year-olds expressing themselves there.
Sure.
And I don't know if there's any guidance into what they're doing. But I like that you say it's everyone's responsibility. It's the parents' responsibility. It's the teacher's responsibility. It's the church that is responsible. And then we have the government formulating policy around making sure that the adolescent has everything they need to mature into a healthy person. So this book, when you mention self-esteem, it's very ironical to me because since we met in campus, I've known you to be one of the prettiest people I have seen.
Yeah.
So when you say that you share, you struggled with self-esteem, maybe people might not relate. So tell us about what led you to write Life Beneath Your Self-Esteem. How was that? How did it come about?
Actually, you see, sometimes don't judge the book by its cover.
It's beautiful cover.
Yeah, we struggle. Thanks for that. But we struggle with so much that sometimes we are not able to let out to people. My self-esteem issues, they have been actually very intense. If you read part of the book, you realize that when I started, I'm an early bloomer.
Yes.
Like, I started maturing very early. And when you mature early, you get the attention now, especially of the boys. So when as a girl, you tend now to withdraw yourself because you're like, why am I not like the others? And then another issue, it was about my height. Aki, that one has.
She's really short, guys. Don't be fooled by this couch. She's very pretty, but she's also quite short, which I find to be very nice. But
yeah, but I had issues with it very much because now everyone was like, "You're the shortest in the class." Even a short person stands close to you and says,
"Compare the height."
Yes, at least I'm taller than you. Like, okay, I'm short. And you see now, as a young girl, if you don't have someone to tell you it is okay, you tend to feel a little bit bad about yourself, about your self-image. You're not even confident. And then it was worsened by the fact that I was shy. So self-esteem was really a bad thing in my life. And then later, through some of the issues I went through, I somehow lost my self-esteem completely. And sitting down to write the book, actually I was at my lowest point in life about self-esteem, and I was like, as a mentor, I need to talk about this issue. Perhaps when I talk about it, it will give me more strength and more platform to make myself better and also to make other people become better. Yeah.
So you wrote to rise above it.
Yeah.
That is, you used your God-given talent to rise above it.
Yeah.
That is very inspiring. It's also inspiring that despite her height, she's the reigning Mrs. Universe Kenya, Tharaka, Nithi County.
Yeah.
Which is to go to tell you that whatever you consider your limitation does not limit you from chasing your dreams. Because she did, and she's here.
Yeah.
And we applaud you for that. And you mentioned that you were an early bloomer. My case was different. I was a late bloomer.
Oh.
I was the people who were waiting for their bus to come up when everyone else has something, and forcing their moms to buy booktops before there was anything to show. And celebrating the slightest bad and looking at the mirror every day to try and see.
And you see that tells us that we just need to exempt ourselves the way we are.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a big problem with the youngsters. Like, I've been teaching boys for quite a long time.
Okay.
And at some point, the reason I'm even fighting for boy child and I'm advocating for boy child, looking at the outside bit of a man, of a young man, you might think this is the most confident person. But wait until they tell you their story. I remember a time a young student comes and tells me, "Teacher, everyone in class laughs at my shape of my head." I'm like, "But I see your heart, Sam. What's wrong?" And he says, "They're saying my head is funny, and they're laughing about it." But you see now, such small issues, they draw my attention. I'm like, I need to speak to this young man to know that it's okay just the way you are. You accept yourself just the way you are. And that's always my message to everyone. It's not only about the physique. Sometimes maybe your background can try to bring you down. You don't fit in a certain group and you're like, you just quell back and just sit all by yourself, having self-pity. But the truth is, there's nothing that should limit you.
That's true.
Yeah.
And you say it in your book very loudly when you say that we can't let seasonal things define us.
Yeah.
You say that everyone grows at a different pace.
Yeah.
And we should be okay with how we're growing. And I'm not giving any much more because you need to buy the book. It's such an awesome and short read for young people and even older people, because I read it and I feel like it helped me. I've read it a couple of times.
I'm encouraged. Yeah, actually, the book has given me a bigger platform.
Okay.
Because, I've not yet shared. You still publish my second book.
Amen to that.
Should I tell you the title?
Yes, sure.
It's I'm the Queen.
I am the queen. You hear that?
Yeah.
That's something.
So
that's a process
it has
coming
brought
up.
me higher in my self-esteem. And like, nobody should tell you you're not the best.
Yes.
Even if there are so many queens, I'm the queen.
There's space for all of us to shine.
Yeah, there's space for everyone to shine. No matter what, no matter where you come from, no matter your height, no matter your weight. Yeah, and even weight. Okay, we'll not give them everything about the book. Let them read.
Yes, you can just dot that and get the book. And maybe you can tell us, where can we get your book from?
Yeah, you can get the book from Mary Frida. It's easier to get to her.
And we're selling a copy at 500 shillings. Yeah. But if you're in Meru and
Meru, Chuka, these sides, Embu, you can still, they can reach me.
Yes,
we'll deliver.
There's the ebook on Amazon Kindle that's whose link I will share in the description box. Is there anything you'd like to tell our audience on matters self-image as we part?
Ever since I opened up to talk about self-image, this is what I normally tell people, to accept who they are. There's some things you can never change about yourself, but there are some things, if you are able to change, then work very hard to change them. Yeah, let me just mention this. For example, there's a time I was overweight. I'm short and I'm overweight. So I really had to go research how about the diet, maybe the exercises, and I formed habits and changed my lifestyle, and I was able to maintain. So, and then even about background, you can change it. But about height, I'm sorry.
There's nothing you can do.
There's nothing you can do. You accept and walk proudly about it, because
there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, and
you may be short, but you can walk tall.
Yeah, you can walk tall, and that's what exactly I'm doing. And I'm actually the founder and the CEO of an organization called Ediths, and that's why I'm doing all these platforms. The mentorship, we have a department for mentoring, especially the boy child. Yes. And of course, I'm not leaving other youths, because even girls need to know something about themselves. That's true. So we have those departments, even the talents, and of course, even the department for donations. Yeah, we do that. Okay. So it's all about believing in yourself, and I think that's where I started to rise in my self-esteem. You believe no matter what. Yes. No matter what, I'm the best. And nobody should tell you you're lesser than that. Actually, there's a great friend of mine, I used to call him my life coach. He just says, you are enough. You are enough. You are worth. As in, you're not lesser than that. Yeah.
That's a beautiful, beautiful message to part with. And I will read something from this book. She says, accept what you can change about yourself. Change what you can to become better. You're unique in your own way. That is just what you said right now.
Yeah.
So it's a message that she believes in, that she lives for, and that we hope you can live for as our audience. That you're able to see yourself from the best light. That your image of self is not marred by the opinions of other people, and that you can hold on to what God says about you and live in your best self. So that is it for our episode today. Thank you so much, Soni.
Thanks so much. I really appreciate for this. It's always my joy when I share out my heart to people. Yes. I have a very big heart to love.
She does. I can attest to that.
Yeah, so I feel much humbled.
Thank you.
By giving me this opportunity.
Thank you.
And come, we will discuss many more.
I will. Of course I will. You will be seeing Soni in many of our other episodes, because she's a fountain of resource. But for today, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. And also click on the links on the description box to know more about Soni.
I normally on social media platforms, Edith Soni on Facebook,
Yes.
Edith Soni even on TikTok. Yeah, I do some inspiration in TikTok,
Yes.
on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Yeah, you can follow.
So you can follow at Soni through those platforms.
Thank you so much.
Asante sana.
Yeah.